Hey, hello gamers, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Vkay and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Kaycube Survival SMP. Alrighty then, so pretty much what this is my private server, even though it's very public. You guys can join it. I'll leave a VIP in the description below. It's kaycube.melanq.be, and but yeah, I'll leave it in the description below. I'll even put it on the video so you guys can see it right here above my cursor, right there somewhere. Alright, lovely. But we're actually gonna take a look at the server so far because I've done like 2 or 3 recordings on it so far, but stuff's has happened and OBS has been a little finicky. So I'm just deciding to throw those away and just start here because it's actually gonna save me a lot of time. So with that said, let's get started on that. And in doing so, let's actually get started with the first build that happened, which is what I have baptized the Merchant Guild. And the Merchant Guild is a very simple concept for us, at least. I know it's not very merchant-y, but essentially this is a place where you can donate stuff and get stuff. So essentially you can go on the bottom here in these basement sort of areas and you can put stuff in these chests. Like for instance, you can see that there's a bunch of wheat here that we've collected from that beautiful wheat farm over there. There's a bunch of plants like flowers and seeds. There's a bunch of wood, even though oak keeps running out because obviously people use oak. There's no leaves because who has shears these days? There's a lot of steak. I don't think there's any potions. There's ores. Actually, coal's been running out, but redstone and lapis is going strong. Some mob drops like bones and stuff. Weapons, like there's a bunch of stone weapons, and you can see the bowls like just run out very quickly. Nothing in these. Armor, like leather sets that nobody's wearing. Cobblestone runs out very quickly. Some stone tools. Two lines are pretty much empty now. There's no cake yet, and there's a bunch of dirt that I don't have to refill constantly. Now, this system is a bit dated by now already on the server because of something that I'll explain a bit later, because they can use certain blocks to circumnavigate certain things. Oh no, that's not good. That's one of my latest additions. I essentially built the lava, the trash can. So people can throw away stuff, but I forgot the 4-block thing. I figured with a trapdoor on top, it might not do it. You'll live and you'll learn. We'll figure out a fix for that later. Anyways, so yeah, that's the Merchant Guild. Right next door to the Merchant Guild is actually one of our players, Harry's his inn, and it's very lovely, and it's called the Hilton Inn. It's been royally decreed by King Vkay, aka me, and yeah, everybody has like a mailbox. And I'll explain at the end of the video what's in them, and kind of what's that's used for, obviously for mail, but I'll explain that in a bit. But let's actually go into this inn. It's not completely finished yet. As you can see, the floor still has to be placed down, but for a server that's not even been out for a week yet, this is amazing. It looks gorgeous. It's absolutely incredible, and it's very cool that he's actually like putting up prices and stuff like that's I love that. And we're kind of really trying to push that, like an item economy and everything like that. And occupations are upstairs and gambling is downstairs. But if you go downstairs, see there's nothing yet, which is lovely. But I love that he's already marked that out. That's gorgeous. And occupation, let's see, rules for occupation. Any belongings left in any unused rooms is the innkeeper's. I see your system. I have one Minecraft day. You have one Minecraft day to remove any belongings after the expiration date. No breaking any blocks. Can only place storage. No funny business. That's my rule without conferring with the innkeeper. If any valuables are taken due to rules, then do not argue. No entry without room permission. And then, okay, so I actually, other than this room, I actually designed the rooms, like the interior, with whatever I had. So I, put like a carpet and a bed and a blast furnace. Like I thought that was really cool that people could hire this room and actually have a blast furnace, which is just so much better than a normal furnace. And you have barrels and you have a shared anvil and a crafting table with your neighbor, which is also lovely. Like you can see this guy has all the same stuff. There's 3 barrels, a bed, a blast furnace, and those things again. And the same for this guy. But for the last guy, this is actually a bit different because this is like the cheapy room. This is like the closet room. And he actually doesn't have 3 barrels. He actually only has 1. But he does have the crafting table and the anvil. So he has... Was that just a village? Okay, it's a baby villager. All right. I mean, if you want to rent a room, you know, be my guest. Yeah. And then in the back here, if I can get through the door, he's made himself a little stable. I mean, I came up with the bottom design, and then I think we together came up with the design for the top bit. I just kind of made this extension. I was like, yeah, you could totally make like a terrace. And then he did that, and it looks lovely. And yeah, he's got his horses in here now. He only has one saddle, but we're fixing that. We're making it so saddles are easier to get, because I just don't understand why you still can't craft those in Minecraft. And I love this farm. I mean, here's the thing. We're using a texture pack, called Conquest. It's for 1.14.4. The survival server is 1.14.4. And I'm also using shaders, Silder's Shader Light. But this is gorgeous. The way the light hits it. Just the setup as well. I really like the setup. I would not have like put melon on the side, for instance, and then, you know, nether wart in here. It's very, very lovely. And the reason he's using nether wart and melon, for instance, is in this inn, which is, you know, it's a tavern, it's a bar, whatever you want to call it. He's actually going to sell potions, which is very cool, because that's obviously what this stuff is for. And then he has a back shed here. That he's keeping stuff in. I see that. And then in the back here, there's another person living. That's Lawrence, aka Laws RPG. And yeah, he just used the default Minecraft village, but let me tell you one thing. He's been grinding. Lovely. And then this is a community farm. So this is a community potato farm, and also in the end, I think it's carrots. No, someone's made it full potato. So it is now a community potato farm, and then that's a community carrot farm, I guess. I mean, whatever. If people want potatoes, they can have their potatoes. I'm not gonna make a fuss about that. And then over there, when you see what's been marked out with the wool, that's gonna be a little area for a sort of keep. Obviously, this is a medieval server. We're actually doing a softcore roleplay on top of it. So yeah, that's pretty cool. In the chat, we pretty much encourage roleplay. Whatever you do in your voice chats in private, or me in my videos, it's really none of our business. But what you do in chat, that's supposed to be a little roleplay. So with that said, save the game. Awesome. With that said, let's head into the middle of town. Oh my god, it's a sheep. I love sheepies. See, it was so hard to get sheep at first here. And now they're just walking through the town. I mean, whatever. Alright, so here you have a little market stand. We're still figuring out how we're going to do this, but essentially you're going to be able to actually /buy or rent these and sell stuff here. The big difference with the market stand towards one of those, like, sort of businesses is that they're a lot less stable. What I mean there is, and I should probably say the mailbox system now. What I mean there is you pay a weekly fee for the market stand, or you can pay it by month. But with the businesses, he doesn't have any in his mailbox. But with the businesses, you pay taxes, and there's two different types of taxes: residential and commerce. And residential can be paid with almost anything, but we're starting with like building blocks and ores, whereas commerce taxes can only be paid with ores. So for instance, this is Derplava's tax form essentially, and it says this document hereby declares Derplava to be the legal owner of this house. It also grants the holder permission to live and die in this house. Taxation following current legal terms determines the holder to own 960 blocks to be paid in residential taxes and 0 blocks in commerce taxes. So that means he has a house that is 960 blocks wide, so he would have to pay 960 blocks. Signed and approved by the great and honorable and sexy King Vkay. So yeah, I totally didn't write that. And then Tax 101 is a file that they will get that explains what is up. So taxes explain. Taxes come in 2 distinct ways: residential and commerce. So houses you live in and businesses you can sell from. You can totally sell from a house or live in a business, but it then gets taxed by commerce by default. Residential taxes can be paid with many blocks. For instance, 1 block is worth 1 cobble, dirt, sand, red sand, gravel, and 2 blocks is worth 1 glass, wool, brick, log. Now we've also begun to adopt the commerce blocks for this as well, and that'll be the following. Commerce taxes are a bit more pricey and can only be paid off with ores and valuables. 10 blocks is 1 coal, redstone, or lapis. 20 blocks is 1 gold, iron. And then 50 blocks is 1 diamond or emerald. Now, people have actually said that they prefer to pay it off with gold or iron, so that's what they've started doing with the residential stuff as well. completely fine with that. A lot of people are paying it off in redstone as well, or lapis if you don't use it. The thing is with these stacks is the blocks that we get from it, we actually use to build stuff like that keep in the back there, the kingdom purpose sort of things. And we also use certain things to expand the town and build these community things like this, which is lovely because this wood farm is something I built with my own survival blocks initially, and I said never again because this was way too much resources to build. You don't want to know how much hose I burned through just to do that, and then I had to make the walls and stuff. No, it's just, I wasn't going to do that again. And this is a cobblestone generator. Currently it's on someone's properties because Derp has been building here, but he's actually been stripping down his build because it's honestly awfully placed, and he's putting it into a different location. So yeah, that's that. And then this is Melon's house. He also has this mailbox thing. So for instance, with his build, which is a bit smaller, his is 323 blocks. So he would need to pay 323 cobblestone, or he could just go ahead and do what he did, which is 32 redstone and 3 cobble. And then if you walk in here, you have this lovely like sort of living room hallway type of thing. And then in the back here, you would have what I would call the kitchen. He has a basement that I've actually flooded more than once already with a water bucket. And then he has got a bunch of barrels here that, I mean, I suggested that. I think it looks like wine, like racks, which is lovely. I'm actually close the door because I can hear a zombie. And then up here, and he's done a very intriguing design. It's not finished yet, but you actually have to go outside on the balcony to go upstairs. And then you come into this room, and then you come into the bedroom. And there's always a villager there. It says roommate, I guess, but I don't know. Like, I'm confused by it at any times. There's always a villager there. Never leaves the house. Oh, and if you're wondering... Oh, they're not in here anymore. I put a llama into his house. I actually put 2 trader llamas into his house, but they're gone. They must have left. They must have gone traded. And then over there, that is the beautiful and honorable good guy's house. I'm actually going to go in there as well. It's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. Oh, damn it. Damn it. No! I'm gonna die here. Ah! Got trapped! You got trapped! You suck. So yeah, this is a sort of like Nordic house. I can't believe that just happened on recording as well. I'm gonna have to keep that in. People are gonna laugh at me. Alright, so this is his house, and I love this. I love the design. It's very unique. I've never actually seen something like this. He's got this big open room here, first of all, and I think there's going to be a door there as well. And then let's actually do upstairs first. And he's got this area here. I love the level design. Like, it's a little down, little up, you know. And yeah, I love this design. It could potentially be storage or kitchen area or whatever he's going to do there, like a brewing room. And then up here he's got his bedroom. Fun fact, Melon has a great sight into his house currently. So yeah, that's lovely. And he also has a villager constantly in his bed. So that's great. That's actually superb. I can hear a bunch of background noise from something. I don't know what it is. And then in the bottom here, I think he's building like a basement area. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but maybe an enchantment room or something. I'd love to see it when it's finished. I said that's so aggressive. When it's finished, you should have finished it by now. No, I'd love to see that when it's done. And the roads are also something I'm actually very proud of because I've been using a lot of shovels on that stuff. And just going around and doing the roads and connecting them up with people's houses and stuff, even though Good Guys, I think, wasn't connected just yet. This is actually currently my house. It's my house. And I don't have too much stuff just yet because I've been donating all of my stuff into the Merchant Guild so other people can use it to their advantage. I mean, it's my server. I'm supposed to make sure people have a good time. And I am using this as a sort of like storage thing because... we do a weekly giveaway where I take a number of blocks and I go through a giveaway generator and take all the players on the server and just throw it through. And then I make boxes with people's stuff in them. For instance, Garen, you know, he hasn't been on the server in a couple days, so he has not claimed his stuff yet, for instance. Laws hasn't been on in a couple days either, so he hasn't claimed his stuff yet. So you can kind of get a general idea of what it is. It's mostly building blocks. Although, for instance, Garen won some hay bales. Good Guys actually picked up his stuff. And I actually have some stuff in there that I haven't even used yet as well. You know, a bunch of planks that I should probably put those in the Merchant Guild. I'll actually take those out. Because I'm sure people are going to like those. Or what was I using them for? I should probably keep the oak logs. but I'll put the spruce planks in. No, you know what? I'll do the other way around. Everybody likes oak, so I'll build the keep out of spruce. And then I'll put the oak logs in, we'll be happy with that. Stripped oak, oak planks, oak stairs, oak fence, oak slab there. They can have all of that. And yeah, that's my house. It's very, very unique. I totally built that. That's totally not a randomly generated villager house. And then I jumped into the hole. This was a this was a nether portal, but I thought it was inconveniently placed, so I removed it and I put it into the merchant guild. I can actually show you that too. So yeah, this is where I put it. It's a little less out of the, it's more out of the way, you know, it's not as bothersome. And then yeah, I built a trash can, and then I built this like sort of like 1 layer high wall here with the fences. I just thought that gave like the idea of a courtyard, and I mean, I can't agree with myself more because I absolutely love it. And then this right here is Lucas's house. Here lives a chicken, Puck Puck. And yeah, it's also very lovely. It's a default villager house, but he's actually expanded a bit towards the back, so he's made it a bit longer because it was a very small one. And he's doing well for himself. He's got an anvil, he's got a loom, he's got some big chests and stuff. I mean, just look at that. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, yep. I hate you. Take a diamond pickaxe, because I forgot to bring my sword. AKA, I gave Melon my iron sword, because he asked me to give it to him, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so this is a farmhouse. It's sort of, again, a dated idea. At first, we had our small little farm here, and we had a chest here that would fill up, and if it was full, then the rest would go to the merchant guild. Which now is a dated idea because all of the stuff is much closer to the merchant guild now. And then this is sort of like Melon's old house, where still some of his stuff that he's forgotten. You might be able to see that in the video. The cows are making a lot of noise today. And then I'm actually going to set it to day, but just because I don't want to die because of that skeleton. I want to show you this in all of its glory because it's so gorgeous. So this is a building that I've built that is another guild. Essentially, what we've done here is we're trying to think of a concept that is unique, and because everybody has like their own little business type of thing. What happens if people start to have the same business? Like, what happens if there's 2 people selling enchants, if there's 2 people selling potions or whatever? What happens then? Well, the idea is they would form a guild and they would work together to form prices for their trade, essentially. So if Lucas is an enchanter and Harry would be an enchanter even though he only makes potions, then Lucas would, for instance, try to sell his for 10 iron, but Harry might be doing it for 5. So they would then make an agreement to sell it for 7. And if people don't follow the guild rules that they set up, you know, then they might get like killed by a mercenary, or they might get excommunicated from the village and might get cast out or whatever. And I mean, they don't want that, obviously. So that's kind of the cool concept that we've come up with. This is sort of like the farmers guild, even though we don't have any farmers, but I felt like building it would make the world more vibrant. And it's got like a typical archway design over the road. So it doesn't obstruct anything. Obviously, buildings in medieval times, they didn't like it when they obstructed roads. They were actually heavily taxed on their bottom parts. That's actually the part that got taxed in medieval times. Pretty much the footprint on the land. That didn't even matter. It's that. And we're doing the same system. We're using an actual medieval system for taxing. I get that completely wrong. I mean, I've tried to do my research. I've tried to do my best here. But yeah, that's something. And then, you know, here, this could potentially be like a shop. You could throw something in there. You could totally be like, hey, here's a steak. I'm gonna want that steak back. But, yeah, so that's something. And then over here, this is a farm. People have honestly been going crazy with breeding them. So if anyone wants to kill some cows, you can totally hop on the server and do that. Peter goes rage mode activated. And then over here you can see this area with planks that's been lined up. I didn't mention that before. It's pretty much because Harry has this area they can build in that like aligns with the road. If someone was like, I would need more space, we can probably arrange things. But he asked how much space he had, and we sort of lined it out, and we were like, well, this is the most we can give you. If you need to expand more, it would have to go into the farm there, but we can't give you any more width, essentially, there. So yeah, he loved that. He's built that crazy thing there, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna do like a wall area or something, or a fence. I don't know yet. And then this is the enchant plant. And I came up with the name, I'm just saying. But this is essentially Lucas's enchantment shop. I'm gonna use a little cheeky back entrance that you guys can't use, but the cows are going crazy again. And this is essentially an enchantment room, and you can come in here and you can do level 30 enchants. Yeah, you can do level 30 enchants. I was pretty sure it went up to 30. Yeah, you would have to pay, I think, 10 iron to get in here, though. That's the gist. That's the deal. But you can enchant, like, as many items as you want. If you go in there and you want to enchant 60 items, that's fine. You have to pay an entrance fee. You don't have to pay an enchantment fee, if that makes any sense. So that's very cool. So you could totally utilize that to your benefit, because it might actually be cheaper to do that than build your own. And I think that's for the most part it. Actually, no, it's not. So here's the thing. I'm going to show you some things in fly mode, because there's no way I'm going to walk that all the way there. We're going to set up like a railway system and a boat. But for me to walk there just to show you guys, I'd probably not show you guys, you know. Actually, there's a warp there, I think. That only I can access. Okay, so there's a warp here. It's actually pretty far away from the village, but it's a stable. You might have seen it in the text. It's a stable, / warp stable is what it's going to be. And this is essentially where there's going to be a more city-like area. And back here is something that I've built. It's a design that I mainly based off of other designs that I've seen. And what this is it's a saddle generator. And if you put in a diamond, it'll give you a saddle. I don't have any diamonds on me right now, but it would give you a saddle when you drop a diamond into it, which is very cool. Again, I think it's ridiculous. You can't craft saddles, so that's our fix. We do have to stock it up every once in a while, but you know, that's also a good thing, because it means there's a limited supply for saddles. So with that said, boom, Kayakasha, that's it. And then there is a couple more warps that I could show you. There's village 1. Yeah, okay, so this is a different village. Let me actually go into fly again. That's on the edge of a lake. It's very close to the other village. And we're also going to do something here. Not completely sure yet, but probably like a fishing village kind of thing. Like more like a rural, like, not rural is not the right word. Like a more poor village. It's not as wealthy. It's not as rich in commerce and stuff like that. It's really residential. Which is going to be cool. And then village 2 is actually one that we have some plans for. Some big ass plans. Is this is an island. I'm actually going to try to go up and fly so it properly renders in and everything. So yeah, this is an island, and we're thinking of either putting up a castle here or a sort of prison, which would also be very cool, like an Alcatraz type of thing. And then you still have the villagers living there, because it's been their home for 50 years. They ain't leaving. And then Warp Castle. Oh, that is honestly my favorite. It's going to be my main build in the future if I get the resources to get that going. And it's essentially a massive island, and it's what we're actually going to use to build our castle on. So this is where I guess the king's going to live and everything like that. Here's the thing. If you want to join the server, the idea is you can either join one of the settlements or create your own. And joining a settlement has benefits. You have community farms and stuff like that. Obviously, in the spawn, you can totally do /spawn and then use the community farm, and off of that build your own settlement. We're sponsoring other settlements that way, but that's the idea. You can totally do something like that. We're just saying we want to put people into these little groups, get them together, people that have a similar idea or concept. For instance, let's say you want to make like a desert temple or something, and somebody else wants to make a desert town. Unite your efforts, make something cool. That's the kind of server we're trying to build. At the same time, I'm trying to build a server where people are going to be healthy against the community. So, for instance, if you say to me, "Oh, I'm going to build a massive castle," there's a good chance I or someone else will give you some cobblestone. You know, that's essentially what I'm saying here. We're very early on in survival days, so it's not like people are going to give you stacks on stacks of stone bricks, but they're definitely going to help you out a little hand. So with that said, I'd love to see you guys on the server. I mean, I've kind of showed everything that I wanted to show. So if you want to see some more, you're going to have to join. But with that said, This has been Vkay. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time, and bye.